story begins with a young woman named Polly. She lives alone in a large house. From her conversations, we learn that she is struggling with depression and barely talks to anyone. She does not even speak to her own mother very often. At the same time, Polly is preparing for an interview for a graduate school program. As she practices her answers, the doorbell suddenly rings. When she opens the door, she finds an elderly woman asking for directions. The woman explains that a taxi driver dropped her off at the wrong address. Polly quickly realizes that the old woman has come to the wrong house. The woman says she has a phone number and a card that her son, 9, gave her. She says she can call him. Since it is snowing heavily outside, Polly feels sorry for her and invites her inside. Once inside, the old woman asks for a glass of water. As Polly hands it to her, she notices something disturbing. The woman's hand is badly injured, and several of her fingers appear to be missing. The old woman thanks her for the water and mentions that she is running late. Polly asks if she has a phone or if she would like help contacting her son. The woman explains that her son gave her a card with his number and says that if she is in trouble, he will call her himself. Then she starts asking Polly personal questions. Looking at a photograph on the wall showing a man and a little girl, she asks if Polly is married. Polly immediately says no. The old woman laughs and asks if she has a child despite not being married. Polly denies it again. The woman then comments that the house seems unusually large for a young woman living alone. Polly explains that the house belongs to her sister and brother-in-law. They rented it for her while they live in town with their young daughter. The old woman asks how old the little girl is. Polly replies that she is 5 years old and will turn 6 next week. In the middle of their conversation, the old woman suddenly says that she should begin. She reaches into her bag, pulls out a wooden box, and carefully removes an hourglass from inside. Polly is caught off guard by this strange behavior. She begins to wonder if the woman is mentally unstable and tells her that she should leave. But the old woman calmly tells Polly that she is going to die tonight and that there are certain things she must do before that happens. She says that no matter how upset she becomes or how loudly she screams, her death is unavoidable. Hearing this, Polly becomes furious. The old woman says that it has already started. She also warns Polly not to tell anyone about what has happened. In return, she promises she will remain silent as well. Her words are so bizarre that Polly grabs the woman and throws her out of the house along with the box and the hourglass. Just before leaving, the old woman calls Polly by name. Polly freezes. She never told the woman her name. The old woman tells her that she is probably thinking this is some kind of nightmare, but it is real. She says she could not wake up from it, and neither will Polly. Then she quietly apologizes and walks away. The wooden box is left behind on the street. Shaken by everything that has happened, Polly immediately calls her mother. She explains the entire situation. She tells her how she let an elderly woman, probably around 80 years old, into the house. She describes the strange wooden box, how normal the woman seemed at first, and how she later pulled out an hourglass and claimed that Polly would die before morning. When Polly mentions the box, her mother asks if there was a bomb inside it. Polly says no. It was just an old wooden box that the woman left behind. She admits that she has no idea what the woman was trying to do. Her mother suggests that if she feels unsafe, she could spend some time with the neighbors. Then instead of comforting her, her mother tells her to calm down and focus on tomorrow's interview so nothing goes wrong. In truth, her mother has business plans connected to Polly's future success, so she is more concerned about the next day than about what Polly is currently experiencing. That hurts Polly. The call ends. Trying to distract herself, Polly takes a bath and begins trying on outfits for her interview. She even takes a few photos to see how she looks. As she reviews the pictures, something terrifying appears. In the mirror behind her, there is a reflection. Someone is standing there. At first, Polly does not notice it. The figure looks like a spirit silently watching her from behind. She senses a presence in the room and quickly turns around. Nothing is there. The figure has vanished. Soon after, Polly begins hearing voices. One of them sounds exactly like her mother's voice. To calm her nerves, she lights a cigarette. At that moment, her mother calls again. Polly answers and immediately tells her that she feels like she is losing her mind. She says she heard her voice and felt as if someone was inside the house with her. While they are talking, she hears the voice again, this time coming from upstairs. Polly cautiously goes to investigate, but finds nobody there. Her mother suggests checking the closet. Polly does, but it is completely empty. Her mother continues talking about tomorrow's interview, but Polly is barely paying attention. She is too frightened. Then she notices something sitting on the table. The wooden box. The same box that was left outside. Polly stares at it in disbelief. She tells her mother what she sees. Her mother suggests that she may have carried it inside without realizing it. Polly refuses to believe that. She clearly remembers leaving it outside. Slowly, she opens the box. Inside is the same hourglass. Her mother asks what she is looking at. Polly places the hourglass on the table and notices something strange. The sand is not moving. Not a single grain is falling. She tells her mother, who responds with a chilling statement. That means it hasn't started yet. Polly's heart nearly stops. She never mentioned the hourglass to her mother. How could she possibly know about it? Confused and terrified, Polly asks her. The voice on the phone responds, "I am not your mother." The words echo through her mind. Polly is horrified. The person on the other end then tells her that she will die at midnight. The call disconnects. A knock suddenly comes from the front door. The phone rings again. This time, the mysterious woman explains that Polly can survive only if she makes 3 sacrifices. The first must be something she hates. The second must be something she needs. The third must be something she loves. All 3 items must be placed inside the wooden box. The sacrifices must be genuine. If Polly tries to cheat or chooses the wrong objects, the woman will know. Polly finally realizes the truth. She has been cursed. The old woman came to her house for that exact purpose. The moment Polly invited her inside and the hourglass was revealed, the curse took hold. Judging by the woman's behavior, it seemed she never wanted to pass the curse on. She appeared trapped by it herself, which is probably why she apologized before leaving. Polly desperately tries to decide what to place inside the box. She stares at it for a long time, her face filled with fear and anxiety. Eventually, she decides to sacrifice a pack of cigarettes because she hates smoking. She places the cigarette pack inside the box and closes the lid. After waiting, she opens it again. The cigarettes are still there. The box has rejected her sacrifice. Before she can think of another solution, the hourglass suddenly begins to run. The sand starts falling. Her countdown to death has officially begun. Suddenly, Polly feels something stuck in her throat. She begins coughing violently and collapses onto the floor. Moments later, a key emerges from her throat. Terrified and desperate for help, Polly rushes to her neighbor's house. She explains that her phone is not working properly. Whenever it does work, the same mysterious entity answers while pretending to be her mother. The neighbor is speaking with her boyfriend on the phone when Polly arrives. She kindly invites Polly inside and offers her a cup of tea. But then something horrifying happens. While still on the call, the neighbor suddenly grabs a knife and begins stabbing herself. She has become infected by the curse as well. In a desperate voice, she tells Polly that there is nothing anyone can do. It is everywhere. The message is clear. No one can save Polly. No one can help her. She must face the curse alone and complete its deadly tasks herself. And with that, the curse fully consumes the neighbor. Then Polly notices the words, "Don't you dare," written across her neighbor's body. The curse is clearly warning her not to seek help from anyone and to simply complete what it wants. Polly returns home, trying to figure out what she hates the most. At the same time, the sand in the hourglass is falling much faster now, making her even more anxious. Then her phone rings. It's her father. The problem is that Polly's father died years ago. The call is coming from the same curse. Terrified, Polly answers the phone. During the conversation, she receives a clue about what she's supposed to do. She picks up the key that had come out of her mouth earlier. Afterward, she goes to a closet. The key fits one of the drawers inside. When she opens it, she finds a photo of her father. We learn that he actually died from cancer. Among the items in the drawer, Polly finds a cross necklace. This reveals something important. The person she hates most is God. Her father had been deeply religious. Every day, he prayed to stay healthy and live longer. But despite all those prayers, he still died. Since then, Polly has carried resentment toward God. She tries to leave the room, but the door is locked. Then a demonic version of her father begins appearing before her. The box is psychologically torturing her. Somehow, Polly manages to escape. She places the cross necklace inside the box and closes it. When she opens the box again, the necklace is gone. The box has accepted the sacrifice, but things only get worse. Polly starts hearing her own voice. She looks into a mirror and sees her reflection speaking to her, saying strange things and contradicting everything she says. Then the reflection begins harming itself. Suddenly, a pair of cutting pliers appears in Polly's hands. At that moment, she receives a call from her sister. When Polly answers, her sister immediately asks why she called and who is threatening her daughter. The problem is that Polly never made that call. The curse did. Then Polly's sister notices Polly's car parked outside her house. Except it isn't really Polly. Panic takes over. Polly rushes to leave and save her sister. But the curse won't let her go. First, she must offer a second sacrifice. The problem is that she has no idea what the sacrifice should be. Then the television suddenly turns on by itself. A video of her niece begins playing. In the video, her niece repeatedly points to her pinky toe. Polly finally understands. Using the pliers, she cuts off her pinky toe and places it inside the box. She quickly bandages the wound afterward. Then the curse appears before her in the form of her sister. Looking completely demonic, something terrible is about to happen. When Polly checks the box, she discovers that it has rejected the toe. She completely loses it. She cut off part of her body, and the box still refused it. Desperate, she wonders what the curse really wants. Then the video plays again. This time it focuses on a finger. Without hesitation, Polly cuts off one of her fingers and places it inside the box. This time the box accepts it. Suddenly the lights go out. Polly's condition worsens. At the same time, she notices that her death timer has increased, and the front door has finally opened. She immediately rushes to her sister's house. There, she finds her sister dead. Then she finds her niece. She's dead too. The curse has killed them. The sight completely shatters Polly. Then her phone rings again. When she answers, she hears the curse speaking to her using her niece's voice. The curse tells her that her task still isn't finished. Polly argues that it killed them, but the curse replies that she killed them herself. Confused, Polly asks if she made a mistake. The curse answers that she simply made her choice. The box has been manipulating her the entire time. Even now, death hasn't left Polly. She still owes the box one final sacrifice. This time, it wants something she loves. Polly cuts a lock of her niece's hair and places it inside the box. The box accepts it. Moments later, Polly's sister suddenly appears, alive, which means the curse is finally over. Polly runs to her niece, and she is alive too. Relieved and overwhelmed with happiness, Polly hugs her. But then everything changes. Her niece suddenly transforms into a demonic creature. Without warning, she stabs Polly. The scene cuts away. A moment later, Polly finds herself back at home, lying on a table. She notices that the hourglass is still running. Her mind begins to unravel again. She sacrificed everything the box demanded, yet her debt still isn't gone. Polly tries speaking to the box, but nothing happens. She offers it more items. The box accepts them, but the curse remains. Then a realization hits her. That old woman gave the box to her. Maybe she has to pass it on to someone else. And if that's true, then the old woman must have received the box from another victim as well. Earlier, we saw that the woman's fingers were missing. She had clearly suffered because of the box too. She wasn't there by accident. There had to be a trick behind everything. Polly starts looking among her neighbors for someone she can use. Eventually, a woman named Tara opens her door. Polly asks if she can use her phone. Tara explains that this is actually her parents' house, and they'll be home soon, so she can't do much. Polly says she only needs to come inside for a moment. Tara lets her in and even offers her some tea. Then Polly takes out the box. She tells Tara that she's going to die. She even apologizes to her. Tara has no idea what she's talking about and throws her out. However, Polly leaves the box behind before returning home. But when she gets there, the box is somehow waiting for her. Now Polly is completely broken. Meanwhile, the old woman suddenly appears and attacks her. This time, Polly fights back. Filled with rage, she stabs the woman. Polly demands to know why this is happening to her. The old woman explains that the box seems to choose its victims on its own. That's why the cycle never ends. We also discover that the woman has no eyes. The curse is still affecting her too. Before dying, she gives Polly one final piece of advice. Don't be afraid. The more she fears death, the more power the box gains over her. After saying that, the old woman dies. The sand in the hourglass is almost gone. This time, Polly does nothing. She simply watches. The last grains of sand fall. The next day arrives. And somehow, Polly is still alive. But how? She walks outside and sees her niece. The real niece, her sister, is there too. Both of them are perfectly alive. Polly is overjoyed. But before celebrating, she decides to do one thing. She goes to Tara's house and tells her she doesn't need to make any sacrifices. Then she tries to return the box. Tara looks confused. She asks Polly what she's talking about. According to Tara, nothing happened yesterday. In fact, she claims she's never even met Polly before. Polly assumes the box must have manipulated her and created false memories. So she leaves. A little later, Polly receives another call. It's probably the curse again. This time she ignores it. Then we cut to Tara. She now has the box. The box has already begun manipulating her, warning her not to trust anyone and not to tell anyone anything. Then we notice something horrifying. Tara's fingers are missing. Now she's trapped in the same cycle. And the most shocking revelation comes last. Tara has already killed her own parents because they were the people she loved most. That was the true demand of the box all along. Sacrifice the person you love the most. In the end, Polly successfully passed the curse to someone else. And with that shocking twist, the movie comes to an end.